The Skywind team took part in the Creation ModCon 2024, which was held in the third week of this month. They presented a live stream where they showed us some new locations. I will have a link to the full stream in the description for those interested. This month's update will showcase sections from that stream, my observations and commentary, as well as insight from the developers. So let's get started then, shall we? The first location we check out is Kora-Dur. This is a cave full of powerful Daedra. When playing Morrowind, we visit this cave to complete Molag Mar's quest, where we have to kill a unique Daedroth, Mentana. This is an awesome Morrowind dungeon with an underwater segment and multiple paths leading to the end. They also place enemy encounters at certain locations, so you can totally avoid them or go all guns blazing. Also, Mentana was a memorable enemy in Morrowind. I'm so happy to see this cave in Skywind. As we enter Kora-Dur, we see a smoky room with red lighting and cool torch flames. Then your character has to get wet as there's an underwater section that leads to the second room. They show off underwater spellcasting, which is super cool. Also some water plants that react to the player. The alteration water breathing spell is very useful, as there are 3 paths to choose from and you need to make this choice underwater while also running away from dregs. Morrowind dungeons are so cool because many times you have multiple routes, and this time they chose the center path, which led to a room where there are 3 storm Atronachs blasting lightning at the player. They use a new Skywind spell called Pyroclastic Eruption to get rid of all 3 storm Atronachs. The VFX of this spell is really cool looking. Hey, we get to see a soul gem turret from Skyrim. So cool and so lore unfriendly. So Skywind team, if you're adding these soul gem turrets, how about also giving us Skyrim wards? I would love to use a powerful ward in these crazy Morrowind dungeons. I love wards. And then they visit a treasure room and pick up those cute Skywind petty soul gems. Sadly, we do not meet Mentana and exit the cave by heading back to the entrance. We then walk in the northern Ashlands region, which is a dry, inhospitable wasteland characterized by clusters of stone obelisks with minimal vegetation. The destination is Maran-Adon, a cave that is the 6th house base that contains ash creatures and dreamers. This is a small and fairly linear dungeon with low-level enemies. We see the first glimpse of an ash slave who has a combat line, "You shall serve as flesh or dust," and also a line in Dunmeris, "Osun adur, osbar, lesanich asul." Using our Dunmeri Wiki, let's try translating this line. So Osun is V, Adur is R, Os is I, Le Sanish is a bit tricky because there's no such word, but Leshad is to hear, and Bar is not. Nich is can, Asul is them. Osun Adur, Os Bar Lesanish Asul. We are, I cannot hear them. We are, I cannot hear them. That does sound like a line of a dreamer, right? Anyway, enough of this Dunmeri, let's move on. We then arrive at a cool looking lava pond where we see a corpus stalker who goes on easily. The devs did say that the layout of the dungeon is different compared to the cave in Morrowind. Then they showed a Skywind staff. Here you can enchant a staff or even find one in the world. Yeah, in Morrowind, such enchanted staffs did not have its own animations when casting. In Skywind, they have animations to actually use the staff, essentially behaving like a Skyrim staff. Here we see the staff used like in Skyrim, but we can also use it as a blunt weapon. I wonder if they have animations to use an enchanted ring that does spark damage. That would be the ring of Green Lantern, right?
In brightest day, in darkest night, no evil shall escape my sight.
Here we face more ash slaves who have more Dunmeri's combat lines. Onbar Diminek L. You won't end it. Anyway, these are my noob Dunmeri translations, and I'm sure I butchered them. Any devs or Dunmerologists watching, please correct them. The team then continues walking in the northern rocky Ashlands region, and we see a Dwemer ruin. As they walk towards it, an NPC named Mupdan Esurna Darpal says something in Dunmeri. This is really cool that we get to listen to a lot of Dunmeri even when we are exploring in the wilderness. This really adds to the immersion, you know. I like how these NPCs fight for a few seconds and then run away. Interesting AI. From the northeastern Ashlands, we transition into the Grazelands, which is a sight for sore eyes. A landscape with lush green grass, trees and shrubs everywhere. It is a beautiful region of Morrowind. Everything is so colorful and vibrant. We also get to see the map of Skywind that clearly shows the difference between the Ashlands and the Grazelands. We also get to see the coastline from the Grazelands with different trees, strange mushrooms and green colored crabs. As you walk on the beach, you see washed out seaweeds and the dead branches, and we see a small farm growing marshmallow. These are the little things that the Skywind team is so good at. I love it. As we walk in the Grazelands, we get to see the Tower of Tel Vos. As you can see, sections of Tel Vos are similar in design to imperial forts, but it feels like a living fungal form is mingling with the stonework. Tel Vos is such a unique Telvanni tower, and the Skywind team has done a great job here. We enter Tel Vos and see a Telvanni guard having a Starbucks espresso. Argyle, the writing lead, then talks about the speciality of Tel Vos. Let's listen.
So, as many people know, Morrowind is generally divided into three political factions. There is the Telvanni, which is the relevant one here. I mean, just like social Darwinist wizards who determine the law based off of who wins. You know, great foundation for a society. And the master of this wizard tower is a bit eccentric, even for Telvanni standards. He is a big fan of imperial culture, or at least he finds it interesting. So he illegally usurped the land ownership that was previously here to build his own wizard tower, to be a wizard lord. And besides growing it as a mushroom, which is what the Telvanni do, he also commissioned for there to be a brick and mortar imperial fort style tower as well. He's kind of nuts for that.
Did you know that the Tel Vos has a Dwemer museum? In this museum, the Skywind team has added displays, artifacts and plaques that describe how they were used in the ancient times. Very cool. So all of you Dwemerologist nerds can have a chilled out morning visiting the Dwemer Museum here at Tel Vos. They also activate a lever to reveal a hidden entrance to a chamber with locked doors. They use the open spell with a stunning animation to open the door. Inside, you find a cool dagger and a surprise. I love that. Then they exit Tel Vos towards the Velothi farming village of Vos, and we see a cute looking baby Quar. We also get to see the design of Vos. I love the tree in the center and the merchant stalls all around. Very cool. We then visit a cave called Dubdilla. If you play as a vampire, you come here to cure vampirism. This is a cave full of Daedra, and if you look at the map, the starting section is pretty normal, but the uncharted caverns are a maze of tunnels and underwater passages. And then you have the lower uncharted caverns. Let's check out the Skywind version of this cave. You enter the starting area room with these purple crystals, which leads to another room where, just like in Morrowind, we find a peaceful NPC who warns us not to enter the dangerous uncharted caverns. But of course, we go ahead and enter another chamber with more purple crystals and an underwater stream that looks really cool. And then they enter the uncharted caverns. But sadly, the team did not explore the caverns. They just fooled around jumping and falling into a cavern and then using levitation to get back up and finally exited Dubdilla. As we take a boat from Vos to Sadrith Mora, the Skywind team says that fast travel is disabled for a pure Morrowind experience. Those that want to have fast travel can do it. Generally, fast travel and quest markers are all off by default. Sadrith Mora and the Zafirable Bay are my favorite areas of Morrowind. I really hope the Skywind team can recreate that magical and alien feel of this place. Check out how beautiful Sadrith Mora is. Absolutely stunning. This is the Gateway Inn, a place to stay for visitors of Sadrith Mora. This is where you get the necessary hospitality papers for outsiders so you can walk around in town. They also have the magical Sadrith Mora door. Legendary. I love that door. Then they show Sadrith Mora at night. The lighting, the lamps, those cute outdoor tables are absolutely stunning. This tiny outdoor cafe is a fantastic idea. It adds so much more character to Sadrith Mora and gives a feeling that NPCs are living here. That shot of walking at night in Sadrith Mora and Masar looking down upon you, so good. Sadly, this was a short and sweet little preview of Sadrith Mora. I hope we get a more detailed show in future dev streams. We hang out in the docks of Molag Mar, and I just love the clutter, the fishnets, the Dunmeri lampposts, a shrine with scrolls and candles. So many small details that will ensure you explore every nook and cranny of every location. From the docks, we can actually see Bardau, the Ministry of Truth, peering through the fog. We then enter the pilgrimage town of Molag Mar, where we walk past an ordinator with that legendary armor. We also check out two posters with interesting messages in Dunmeris. We then enter the Molag Mar Wasteworks, famous for having the Armigers stronghold, the headquarters for the Buoyant Armigers. The Buoyant Armigers are a small military order of the Tribunal Temple, dedicated to and answering to Lord Vivek. We enter the main hall and see a giant mural of Almalexia. There are waterfalls everywhere and there is a large pool of water. Absolutely stunning. These interior locations in Vanilla Morrowind were so dark and depressing, which ensured I always finished my business and ran away from here. Skywind's interiors though will make me rent a bed in the Pilgrim's Rest for a few days, hang out and talk to all the people of Molag Mar. It's amazing how well designed interiors and lighting can make such a difference. Let's listen to the lead writer Argyle, who talks about Molag Mar.
I just wanted to clarify for all the people that Molag Mar and the Molag Mar region is the birthplace of Almalexia, one of the three gods of the Tribunal. So that's one of the cool opportunities that we have to actually look at the lore retroactively and figure out where, things should probably be now that we have the time and opportunity to develop it. So now you kind of get more hints of the Tribunal as a religion, as opposed to just, it's a little Vivek centralized in the base game, but now, there's kind of more of a broader, overarching world religion that we get to point to in the game.
Oh, this is great. I'm glad we will see more of Almalexia and Sotasil in the world building of Skywind. Just a small segment here. What we see in these developer diaries are a lot of asset design, environment design, interior and exterior level design, the dungeons, the visual effects, and new spells. The Skywind team has done an incredible job in all of these areas. What the community does not know yet is the balancing, the leveling, the skills and perks, the character progression, and the feel of combat. When there is no hit chance and spell chance, will combat give us that Morrowind feel? Then you have all those gameplay systems like alchemy, enchanting, vampirism, lycanthropy, reputation system, disposition system, spell making, stealth system. All of these made Morrowind such a legendary role-playing game. I hope the Skywind team pays as much attention to these two. If any of the gameplay systems don't match up to the vanilla game, then a lot of hardcore enthusiasts will get disappointed with every missing aspect of Morrowind. I hope we get more tech talks and demos on these aspects as well in their upcoming dev diaries. That's about it guys for this month's Skywind update. I have no words to express the creative work being done by the Skywind team. They are my favorite Skyrim modding team. I shall see you again next month for another update. May Vivek, Almalexia and Sotasil watch over you.